Standing, feet together, arms by your side. We're going to go through a couple of mudras, and these are again just to help you listen to what you feel. So in this first pose, I think about being a big block of marble and just having all the possibilities of the shapes that will come. So a couple of breaths here. It's very easy to connect to the power and the strength of this pose and the simplicity. Bring the hands together into a prayer and look down at the hands. To me, this mudra is about humility, and it's about just coming back to a soft place. The best acrobats I know have to be humble because there's a lot of work and a lot of repetition. From here, make some strength between your elbows and arms so it's a straight line, and see if you can do the Spider-Man fingers. So this is your handstand. Yeah. Just connecting to the strength of a warrior. Open the hands up, spin on the thumbs, and come to a lung mudra. Whenever I do this, I feel just protection. I feel like it's a self-love mudra. Spinning around to the other side. And allowing your breath to meet your hands. Knowing that for fire to be strong, you need air, you need wind, you need breath. Release the hands out, toe heel the feet. So being that we need air and breath, index finger and thumb together, we'll play with something in Qigong called the lung pump. So as you inhale, you expand the arms out to the side, and it's a slow breath and a slow movement. Once you finish the inhale, palms are facing up, and as you exhale, draw in. Knees are slightly bent. On the inhale, feel the expansion physically of the rib cage, energetically of the breath going from top, middle to lower. And as you exhale, let anything keeping you from this present moment, from being in this body, evaporate. Slower, deeper breath. You can constrict your throat to let the breath go a little bit slower. Take a deep breath as you bring the hands to the ribs. And as you exhale, wash down the outer edge of the legs. Let the hands come off onto the floor. And as you inhale, up the inner edge of the legs. Just touching the yin and the yang aspects of you. Inhaling and exhaling. And you're actually pushing with some strength. Clearing the energy out of the legs. Drawing the nourishment from earth up. Through the bones, through the tissues, up into the belly, and last time. And allow yourself to feel the joy of touch. Feel the joy of connection that you have with yourself, with the elements. And exhale, let your palms come down towards the floor. With a slight bend in the knees, rock forward and back until you find the middle of your foot. As you inhale, imagine your hands are in water and little bubbles are filling the hand up to make the hand rise. And as you exhale, feel more grounded as you let your hands come down. So these are subtle movements and visualizations, feeling the bubbles tickle the hand. And as you exhale, feel your curiosity and your relationship between your feet, your hands, and the earth increase. Last time. When we do subtle movements, we have the potential to go deeper in our awareness. So now you'll be here in earth palm for 3 breaths. You can let your eyes close and just allow the attention to be in the feet, in the hands, and in gravity. Qigong for me also helps me appreciate slowing down and doing less, being less ambitious and being more present. And as you exhale, release the hands down, shift your weight to one of your feet, bring the other foot behind, and we'll go through some circles. So we start with some mudras, some Qigong, get the breath moving, and then we address all the members of the body. All the little helpers, changing direction. So you should never let the top of the toenail show in this pose, so you're pointing the back of your foot and making little circles. Let the femur drive this circle. And if your butt and your lower back are relaxed, you can feel this going into your lower back. And we're just gonna do 10 in each direction. So I can't validate this, I don't know that it's true, but I've heard it, neck circles, that the founder of Shadow Yoga, when he went to learn from the masters in the South, he had to do the joints, the joint sequence we're doing right now, for 1 year before they taught him anything else. So imagine if for 1 year, this was the only thing you got to explore as far as movement in your body, other direction. I've been doing this practice for over 10 years, just this joint sequence, and there's constantly little things that I'm learning. So see if you can slow down the circle with the neck and the head and change something. Maybe you bring your chin a little bit lower. Maybe you relax your feet a bit, relax your jaw. There's so much in each of these movements. Shoulders back. So our shoulders are our most mobile joint in the body. There's a lot of possible ranges of motion. A lot of times we put ourselves in compromised positions. So just by doing these circles, it's like you're giving care and attention to this very mobile, magical place in your body. Changing directions. Some of our primate cousins are brachiators. Their main mode of transportation is swinging from their arms. And we do have a lot of the DNA in common for us to have the mobility in our shoulders. This is how and why we can do handstands. We have that freedom. Interlace the grip, elbows the height of the heart, circles. These are fast and the forearms are rubbing against each other. Create some friction. I don't know about you all, but I'm up in Seattle and it's not getting any warmer. So I'm creating my fire by these movements. Other direction. And keep letting the rest of your body be soft. So all these little micro ripples from one big movement in the wrist translates to the sternum, the belly. And be aware of how strong your taps are. Make sure that's aligned with what your body's asking for. So throughout the sequence, your body's constantly going to be giving you signals. I'm going to give you invitations, but your body is going to be your teacher. Hip circles. So I said that in some of the mudra work, emotions move, but really in any part of the practice. Maybe it's fear when you're doing inversions. Maybe it's freedom when you feel this hip circle. Ali's thinking about her next dance moves. She's like, this circle's boring. I would do it like this. I have to do it like this. So letting freedom be part of your practice. As much as I'm a scientist and I like to do shit very precise, I really love freedom and expression. And we all have something so unique to us, so beautiful to us. This asana practice can be something that helps unlock lots of aspects of you. Changing directions. All right, so we've done all of the joints. Now we're going to start firing up some of the muscles. And we're going to start from forearms and calves. So you can let the hands come forward. We'll do flashlights. So on a proper flashlight, it's all the way in and all the way out, and it's very fast. So we're gonna do a bunch of these. Arms out. Arms down. Faster. Arms back. Arms up, look at your hands like you do in a handstand. Keep going, stronger, faster. Interlace your grip, bring your arms up, shoulders by the ears, toe raises, 20 of them. So we went from the forearms, now we're going to the calves. Squeeze everything. Imagine you're like a diver, extending through the water. Stronger, faster. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Interlace the grip, Kali Mudra, take a deep breath, stretch up. Side bend for 3 breaths. You're still early in your practice, so there's no need to push. Save the pushing for the press handstands. Keep allowing your body to teach you what you need to do, where you need to be. Inhale up. Second side. So this is a strength move in the palms and in the legs. So connect to your trunk, which is your lower body, and connect to the squeeze of your hands. Acrobats need a strong, clear grip. Inhale, come back up. We'll play with arch and hollow. As you inhale, cactus arms. As you exhale, make a straight line between the elbows. Push. Inhale, let the breath help to shape your body in this arch. Hips come forward, and as you exhale, hips come back, and you push. A lot of people miss the importance of hip articulation between arch and hollow. Hips are forward, butt goes back. Hold the hollow from here, bring the hands down to the thighs, really bring the ribs in. Take a deep breath, bring the arms up, spread the fingers, pretend that you're doing a handstand and go up on your tippy toes, reach up, arms out to the side. Toe heel the feet apart. Take a deep breath as you open your palms up and gather energy. So this is another slow, deep inhale. At the top, you can bend the elbows and receive this blessing of being present, of listening, connecting with what you feel in your feet and your hands. Spin the hands out. As you inhale, imagine your fingers are reaching into the earth, pulling up that grounded quality. As the arms start to come up, you can imagine the full moon, the white light, all the possibilities that you can't see all the time. Uddiyana Bandha. So relax the belly, pull the belly back. One more time, just like that. So feel the groundedness, then feel the space, feel the potential, feel the mystical. As you exhale, softly bend. Be thorough about getting all the air out of your body. When you're out of air, relax your belly, pull the belly back. Now we do 3 more with the variation. This part's the same, really gathering, collecting. As you bend the arms, bend the knees, rest the hands on the knees. If you know Nali, you can do Nali. This is when your belly goes back and forth. Otherwise, you can just do Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, stand up. And as you exhale, let the hands come down towards the knees. Arms are straight. Look at the belly, relax it, and then shake it. Last one. Inhale up. Super deep, wide, slow inhale. Remembering that constricting your throat is how you can regulate the timing of the breath. So if you want to breathe slower, just make more pressure at the throat. Last Nali or Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale up, toe heel the feet back together. So now you're going to go through a couple of sun salutation A. Not all of you maybe have a sun salutation practice, So you can follow me and copy me, or you can be at your own pace. So we'll do like 2 minutes of simple sun salutations. So on your mark, get set, take a deep breath, reach up. And there's thousands of variations of how you do it with the arms. So I'm going to a forward bend. I'll inhale and lengthen. Take a small little forward bend. And then I'll be stepping the right foot back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, a lazy up dog. Pushing back to a lazy down dog. Right foot forward again. Inhale up. Exhale, Uttanasana. You can trace the shins as you come up. So that's one version. I'm gonna let you be in peace as you do a few more on your own. Feel free to take variations. Some of you might throw handstands in. Pablo. So wherever you're at, you can make your way back to Tadasana in the next few breaths. For those of you that are already there, you get a bonus. We get to hang out in Utkatasana for 3 breaths. So if you're finishing up your sun salutations, now that you know Utkatasana is where you're going, you're probably going to take your time. Avoid the awkwardness. 2020 is definitely a year of awkward and uncomfortable. Take a deep breath here. As you exhale, come forward. Inhale, lift your head up and preparing for a jump back. As you exhale, jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Bring the left foot to the middle of your mat, right foot up, and then step forward to warrior 1 as you inhale. Clap the hands at the top. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Left leg up, left foot forward, right heel grounded. Inhale, come up. And exhale, down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, push back. Find your down dog, and you're going to do 5 shoulder extensions. So see if you can get your shoulders to touch your ears and relax. Mont extension, 5 times. Super clear, super strong. You're going to jump forward to an Uttanasana. If you can get a little freeze in the air, bonus. Inhale, look up for Uttanasana. Exhale, lower down. Bend the knees, Utkatasana. And stand up. Collect more energy as you come back to Utkatasana. 3 breaths. Be aware of where your weight is. Try to bring it a little bit more into the heel. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift up, preparing for the jump back. Exhale, jump back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. Walk your feet forward just a little bit. Look at your feet, and you're going to jump 7 times. Maybe each time jumping a little bit more. See if you can bring your feet together in the air, hard on the ground. And then jumping forward to Uttanasana. Come into Utkatasana one last time. Well, one last time for now. Interlace your grip and come into a back bend. Elbows strong, arms strong, legs strong. breath sweet. Don't force your way into the pose, just receive. Find the right level that you can breathe. Feel strong and soft. Inhale up. Exhale, bow forward. Uttanasana with the variation of slight bend in the knees. Reach around for the heels and pull yourself into the forward bend. 3 breaths. Lower down to a table. So now we're going to blend a little bit of arm training with very slow breathing. So the first thing is not the slow breathing. It's just 15 times these wrist raises. So this is to warm up and strengthen your wrists. I don't put a lot of weight in my hands when I do these. Some people can do these in planks. I'm very cautious with my wrists. So after you do 15, come to a place of verticality. We're just going to do 1 breath cycle, but we're going to do it super slow. So exhale completely. Inhale. And exhale again. On this next slow inhale, you're going to bend your elbows out to the side. And as you exhale, you're going to let your elbows draw in towards each other. So the articulation of bent arms and straight arms. As you inhale, you're going to very slowly lean forward and planche. Feel what it's like when your shoulders come forward. Feel in your hand where the weight is. As you exhale, slowly come back and feel what it's like when the shoulders are behind the palms. As you inhale, come to an arch, lift your head, arms are vertical, and as you exhale, curl the tailbone in and find your hollow. So now we play the same game on our forearms. So come down into a forearm plank. We're going to spice it up a little bit. As you inhale, planche slowly. Your feet are together. Exhale, open the shoulders. Inhale, arch by dropping the hips down, lifting the head up. And as you exhale, squeeze everything in hollow, push down. Lift up one hand, one leg. As you inhale, extend and feel that line of energy from your straight arm to the straight leg. Bring it back in, second side. Inhale, slowly like a fern. Extend the arm out as you extend the leg out. Find the lines diagonally through the body. Lower down to a sphinx. So after all the squeezing and all the heat, we create the time and the space to open up the body. One of my favorite poses, new poses, seal pose. So you can take the hands wide, straighten the arms. And here there's a lot of room for articulating, pushing, and just freeing up the upper back. So now we'll do the same thing in plank. So find a push-up position, push yourself up to a plank, feet are together. As you inhale, slowly planche. This is teaching you how to adjust your shoulder alignment in handstands. Exhale, open. Inhale, arch. Exhale, hollow. Lift up one hand, one foot. As you inhale, extend out. Connect the points of the finger and the toe and bring it back. Second side, as you inhale, lift up. This is going to help you in your Crocs, that diagonal line through your body. Lower down, and then just thread your fingers like this and pull your arm off to one side, and you can traction down the fingers. So after all that squeezing and pushing, we're going to create a little traction, and then interlace the grip behind your back. This feels great in the middle, but also pulling off to one side and tractioning those fingers. Next game is crow range of motion. I'm going to show it to you briefly. If you have a hard surface and a soft surface, you'd be on the hard surface, aiming your head towards the soft place. Hands are wide, knees come up high on the triceps, and this might be your range of motion. Or you might actually get down on it. No face plants, crow range of motion, play with it. I'll get some tea. So with handstands, it's not just strength in your fingers, it's sensitivity, and that's what this exercise teaches you. Nice, Rising. Try to keep the index knuckle rooted.
Okay. Do I want my hands wider than
Yep, you do. Okay, as soon as the tea is poured, you can have a seat. 5, 4, 3, 2, go on. All right, next game. I realized recently that acro-yogis don't know how to jump. Not even recently, a while ago. So this whole next sequence is a jump sequence. I'll demo it, then you can do it. You can modify based on anything that you need to. It's gonna be stand up, straight jump, tuck jump, split jump right, split jump left, half turn, full turn, full turn. So it's 9. Check it out. And then you'll land in a butterfly. Your turn. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Okay, so roll back and stand up as the first one. And you might just do that. You might just do straight jumps. Awesome. If possible, don't use your hands to stand up. Keep going. So it's straight jump, tuck jump, split jump, turns. Awesome. You got a little ceiling, so be careful. Awesome.
What's after the tuck jump?
Half turn.
This?
Mm-hmm. And then half turn the other way.
What?
Yep. And then some split jumps. Okay, wherever you are, take your last couple of jumps, and you'll end in a butterfly. In this butterfly, you can massage your feet. This is an open butterfly, so your head is directly over your feet. Some massage, some breath. Holy shit, that was hard. So that's anaerobic. It is nothing that you would be able to do for 20 minutes in a row. Bring the feet in close and flap your little butterfly wings. Bring the feet in as close as you can, holding the feet with the hands. Let the elbows help to push the legs down as you come forward. Let the feet come out just a bit. Cross your thumbs, open your fingers wide for tie chops. See if you can tie chop the soft tissue, the calf, the inner line of the thigh. Sometimes the ankles like it. The heel definitely can take it. Bring your legs out in front of you, straight legs. We'll take a pike stretch. You're gonna do Padangusthasana, so grab the big toes, and just 3 breaths here in a forward bend. So as far as goals of the sequence, another goal that I didn't speak about in the beginning is teaching you body positions. Straight, arch, hollow, tuck, pike, straddle. These are the most common shapes that you'll need to know to be an acrobat. From the pike, take the feet to a straddle. Place your palms down on the floor in front of you. Pick a number between 5 and 10. I know what's coming. I should pick 5. I'm gonna pick 9. With the hands flat, lift the legs up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then percuss the parts of your body that are on strike, parts of your body that are getting stronger. And then take a wide straddle. We'll take a side bend. 3 breaths each side. Second side. And then in the middle. Okay, you can go ahead and watch this. A lot of you know it, but those of you that don't, hollow body rocks into tuck-ups and V-ups. So we'll go 3 to 5 of these, 3 to 5 of these, back to rocks, and then back to V-ups. So up to you how many you do, but there is no Shavasana. Hit it. Hollow body rocks are first. Arms by the ears. Look at the toes. Connect to your power. Keep extending through the arms, energy through the toes. When you go to the tuck-ups, make the tuck as sharp and fast and tight as you can. Boom, right back out to hollow. Tuck, hollow, tuck, hollow. And then back to the hollow body rocks. Arms and ears are friends. Extend the shoulders up to the ears. Strong, you got this. Going to V-ups. If you have any lower back pain, maybe you skip the V-ups and just do tucks. When you're done with the V-ups, a couple more rocks. And then you're gonna rock up to stand, holding your big toes once again. Padangustasana. And then come up to stand again. Left palm on the thigh, right fingers grabbing the right big toe. So the first direction is just pulling the foot up with your bicep strength. Try to keep grounded through your standing foot. 3 breaths per pose. Bring the foot out to the side. Bend the arm and try to pull the leg up as much as you can. Left arm is extending up. Be connected to the strength and stability of your standing leg. Now you're going to play with active flexibility. Hold the toe up, hold the leg up, reach the arms up. It's only 3 breaths. You can do anything for 3 breaths. Stay there, stay there. Slowly come into tree. Remember that humility pose? 3 breaths, just coming back to the reality that we are soft creatures, we are feeling creatures, we are vulnerable creatures, and we're also badasses. Hold the opposite edge of the foot. So left hand to the pinky toe edge. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, extend out and look behind. Keep attention to what your standing leg is doing. Keep letting your breath extend your branches, your arms in opposite direction. Come back around to center, point the toe, bring the arms up, more active flexibility. Let your inner ballerina shine. And then come down. Good news, we get to try it again. Right hand, right thigh. So this part of the sequence just came from doing straight up Ashtanga primary series. And just realizing how important it is for acro yogis to be stable and strong in their standing leg and build their flexibility, especially active flexibility. So active flexibility is the power to hold yourself in these ranges. So keeping the foot as high as you can, the arms stay extended. And don't judge where you are. The fact that you're standing on one leg is already a win. Back into tree. Thank God for tree. I love you, tree. And your breath is probably excited. Tree is always a good pose to come back to slowing. Feeling your roots. So I like to keep the hand on the chest as I inhale. And as I exhale, try to let the arm and leg extend at the same timing, just so it looks and feels beautiful. Feel the intelligence of what your foot is doing. This is what we need to train the hands how to do when we get to the one arm sequence. Turn back to center, arms up, leg up, point the toe, bottom leg super straight, just 2 more breaths. And release. Percussion, thank God for percussion. And you can also use the back of the knuckles, the fists on the lower back. saying thank you. All right. Just when you thought we were done with the one-legged stuff, we ain't. So hold the foot behind you. I'll turn sideways so you can see me. You can face forward. Here we'll start with the thigh stretch and turn it into a dancer's pose. And from the dancer's pose, you're going to slowly come down towards the ground. So it's going to be an inverted dancer, which will turn back into a thigh stretch. So when I get my hand to the floor, what I think about is trying to get my knee as straight up as possible, like an antenna. This is a very good way to stretch the front of the thigh. Then you can step the hand out a little bit and kick into a back bend. So let the strength of the leg open up the shoulder and the spine. Down at the floor, you're going to switch your hands. So the right hand comes down, left arm comes up, twisted half moon. And if possible, you look up at the top hand. Keep energy through the right toes. Keep the bottom leg straight. Come back to vertical split. So one hand holds the calf, the other hand can stay on the floor. If you have the balance, you can come both hands to the calf. Use your stability and your strength to find your flexibility. From vertical split, we come to half moon. If you can do it without touching the floor, amazing. This is teaching flyers how to do side stars. And then back to both feet. You're back to bipedal locomotion, what you were designed to do. Imagine how boring life would be if you never did things on your hands. Okay, second side. So now we're bending the left leg. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Thigh stretch, and then dancer. I allow my standing leg to bend if I ever feel that it wants to. So once you get one hand to the floor, see if you can bring that top knee up for a thigh stretch first. Back bend is second. Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Half moon with a back bend. Switch the hands, take a twist. It's easy to forget about your back foot because you can't see it, but don't forget it. That tail's got to be strong. Vertical split. And then half moon. Trust that standing foot. See if you can open your hips. So your whole body, belly button, side body, faces the side, and then back to feet together. Whew, Nelly. Okay, I'm gonna show you the next pose, and then we'll go into a flow together. So there's two parts. One is a half bound lotus. So you can either do it like this, right, grab the foot here and take a forward bend, or you can just do a tree with the forward bend without the bind. After you get into the pose here, what you'll do is move the heel down to the knee and come into flying pigeon. So I wrap the toes around my tricep, and maybe you just come here. Maybe you're just here. Maybe you lift up. That's what we'll play with. So please bend the right knee, either a tree here or here, and then you go into a forward bend. 3 breaths. Move the foot down towards your knee, your left knee. Place the shin between both arms. Find an arm balance. If you're still playing with it, you can play with it. If you want to land, you land your left foot. Take a 3-legged down dog with a side bend. From the side bend, you go to wild thing. Let the feet come down. So it's a modified Urdhva Dhanurasana. Come back around. Just watch this for a second. My left hand reaches towards my left heel, and I lift the right leg up. So you're holding on the inner edge, and you want to take the slack out of the arms so it works. Left hand to left heel. Oh, watch y'all.
Are you
Nice.
stepping on the hand?
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is going to help you feel a connection between the right arm and the right leg. When you're done with that, come down, switch hands to the left hand and come into a tree and look down at that hand. So now see if you can bring a little bit of plunge, a little bit of open, bring your weight inside, your weight outside. This is exactly what it looks like and feels like to do a one-arm handstand. Back to down dog. Jump forward, Uttanasana, 3 breaths. Inhale, come all the way up to Tadasana. All right. Second side, fun side. Bend the left knee. Same. Celebrate each victory. The first one is just getting your right hand to the ground. Feeling your breath, feeling the stretch. Preparing the strength of the legs to translate to the strength of the arms. Let the foot come down just above the knee. Position yourself so you can place that shin across both arms. Find a level that's appropriate for you. If it's 3 breaths, great. Come into a 3-legged dog when you're done with that. I'll help you with that pose after class. There's a way to find an easier access. Wild thing. So until we get to the back bending sequence, all these poses are 3 breaths. Come back around. Do we already do the left hand? Shiza. Well, do whatever hand you haven't done. Jump forward to Uttanasana. And then slowly come back up. Toe heel the feet apart. We're going to do just a little tiny bit of Qigong to open up some more energy in the upper body before we do big upper body stretches and strength elements. So bring the arms up. Take a deep breath and exhale. As you inhale, let your fingers come in towards your sternum. You can actually touch the sternum. And as you exhale, release. This is back to super slow movements, super slow breaths, a gentle bend in the knees. So as you inhale, you're gathering in all of the goodness. I'm thinking about all my friends that are on this call, this Skype, this Zoom, this whatever it is that we're doing. And as I exhale, I'm exhaling election drama, corona drama, and I'm just landing in this soft, sweet space. Inhaling, drawing in everything that you want and need in this moment. And as you exhale, releasing. Heel toe the feet back together. Press the arms out with some strength. Flex the hands back with some strength. Squeeze the legs together with some strength. So here, what we're doing is we're clearing energy in our arms. Before we do a big stretch, we're using our muscles to warm the area up. this is 5 breaths here, and the next 2 poses are 5 breaths. Keep allowing your emotional radar to be alert. Shifting emotions can be 1 breath cycle away. Keeping the hands flexed, step your left leg behind you, swing your left arm under your right, and come into eagle. So imagine your arms are like a flame. They're rising up, elbows the height of the heart. This is 5 breaths. It's a great place to use that Uddiyana Bandha. The first several years I did this pose, I hated it. It was so not fun. It's finally gotten to a place in my body where it's not that challenging. So I put my focus on the quality of my breath, the quality of my Uddiyana Bandha, and the actual physical form is just chill. So when you're in new poses or poses you haven't done a lot, it's like a child. You're gonna fumble around, you're gonna explore, you're gonna giggle, you're gonna laugh. Keep the hands flexed as you stand up. Keep clarity through the arms. Nice tall spine. Switch the feet. Try to keep the spine straight as you come down. So this time it is your right arm under the left. So there should be stability through your front foot, grounded to the earth, and the back foot, you feel that vertical toe. Flex the hands, tall spine, come on up. Okay, so this is demo time. This is gonna be our first quote unquote inversion. It's crow to headstand, headstand to crow. You could do just crow range of motion. You could just do headstand to crow. You could do the whole thing. So I'll show you the whole thing and you can edit at will. So it's wide arms, knees on the triceps. Find my stability. Slowly come down with control. Find my stability, strengthen the fingers. I like my feet to be together. This helps to just connect the circuit. No face plants. You have a few moments to play. I'll spot you.
Sure.
Have you done this before?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I kind of cut out headstands after, well, I was practicing them after I moved my neck.
We have
but
time
then I
just to
stopped.
try. Let's try actually just headstand to crow.
Headstand, crow.
Uh-huh. Good. Yeah. Strong finger push. Strong, 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 strong. Yeah. Good. Okay, wherever you are, you can come back into a chaturanga, an up dog, a down dog. Celebrate your victories. Something went well. Come forward to plank and then shoulder taps. Lower down to your belly. 1 set of push-ups. You can do them on your knees, you can do them jumping, you can do them plank. Strong and fast push-ups. When you're done with that first set, you can sit into a hero pose. Interlace your grip behind your back and just take a back bend. So after all the constricting of the pecs, just let this pose and your breath open the chest back up. And you can lift the chin away from the chest, stretching the neck a bit. And then we'll try second round. So the second round, you can increase the difficulty, you can increase the number, you can decrease. Find your happy place for push-ups. When you're done with your push-ups, bring your right foot forward for pigeon. More stretch, shin parallel with the front of the mat. Less stretch, foot closer to you. This is going to be 5 breaths. Keep allowing yourself to go deep in the breath on both sides. Inhale, it puts pressure into the body. Exhale allows you to settle. Inhale, you're drawing in new soldiers, new energy, new possibilities. As you exhale, all the separate parts of you become more connected. Second side. Throughout the class, please feel free to take variations. So if you want to do a twist here, anything you want to do, I'm not watching. Okay, the next game is going to be down dog push-ups. Those of you who have never done that, all of you can just do this for a moment. Arms up, arms down, arms up, arms down. So this is push-up, this is down dog push-up. So I'll just give you a quick demo. Down dog push-up could be just like this. It could be all the way down. It could be jumping. It could be one leg up jumping. So take a round of down dog push-ups, as many as you can do with dignity. We want dignified down dog push-ups. That's the triple D, dignified down dog. Okay, pigeon again, right leg forward, this time with a thigh stretch or any back bend variations. So a lot of us acro-yogis, myself included, are very tight in the hip flexors in the front of the body because we do so much L-basing. So in the last month, I've been reclaiming a lot more of this range of motion, my back bend. Second side. So also these thigh stretches are really good to stretch our shoulder flexibility. So you want ideally the fingers to point in the same direction as the toes. Make any adjustments you need to be able to be comfortable enough to breathe. If the breath doesn't flow, you're pushing too hard. Okay, down dog push-ups, it's so much fun, you get to do it twice. Okay, and when you're done with that, cross your legs like so. So one knee is on top of the other, this is cow face. Whatever knee is on top, that arm is on top. And then try to connect your hands. If you can't do that, go grab a towel or a t-shirt. If it's relatively comfortable, you can use your head to push back against the top arm. If it's totally uncomfortable, go grab a t-shirt, go grab a towel. Same recipe is always going to hold, in my opinion. If you can breathe well in a pose, you found a reasonable range to be in the pose. Release, spin around in a circle. Second side. Whatever leg is on top, that arm is on top. This is my fun side. And then release. Throwing in a bonus pose here, Agni Stambhasana, double pigeon. So place the knee over the heel over the knee. Hold the hands on the flexed feet. Push into the hands, push into the feet. Create some strength. And then just come forward. You can use your elbows. Elbow in the foot, elbow in the thigh. You can just take a passive forward bend. You got a few breaths to figure out what you want to do. Change it up. And if you have a huge distance between your knee and your foot, just sitting here and breathing is great. Okay, so you can stay here and just check out the next demo. It's going to be headstand presses. You can choose the flavor, the quantity, and then from headstand to forearm stand, split switches. So it looks like this. I can play with tuck presses, straddle presses, or pike presses. So I'll play with that a little bit. I'll come to a split. Something magic will happen when I push down and lift my head. You can do this up against the wall so you can't fall. And then some split switches. Be aware of your ballerina legs, nice and strong. And when you come down, Anahatasana. I watch you now. What you got? Headstands? Headstand
I
presses?
can do it my best shot.
Okay.
I don't practice it often because I'm afraid of hurting my neck.
You can put a lot of weight in the hands. Good, good. One more pike with the legs. Yep. I think staying out here. Does it feel okay so far? Do you want to try to come up to forearm stand? Split the legs. Push down a lot in the arms. Lift the eyes. Okay. Keep lifting the head up so you can see your hands. Yeah. Nice and tall, nice and tall. And let's bring it down. Anahatasana. So arms reaching forward, elbows straight, thighs vertical. 3 slow, deep breaths here. And go ahead and roll through a vinyasa. Inhale, come up into an upward facing dog. Exhale, you can just sit back onto your feet and watch. So the next game is inverting in tuck, pike, or straddle on your hands. So you just did it on your head, now you do it on the hands. So a beginner variation, just little tuck jumps. More advanced is whatever you do up is dynamic and then down slow. Tuck jump up, tuck press down, straddle jump up, straddle press down, pike jump up, pike press down. And they don't have to be full handstands. So do what's safe, use the wall, you can do little jumps, but try to have control on the way down. Nice. Elbows are strong. Good control, Gabby. Even slower at the end. Nice, Sarah. Good arms. Keep the shoulders over the fingers, Sarah. Don't let the shoulders swing back and forth. Yes, much better. Paolo, looking good, brother. Remember you have 10 toes. Point them. Beautiful. Okay, when you get done with that, you can come down to a monkey pose and bring one hand under your leg and just get some compression and traction. So there's TLC, traction, love, compression. So I like to start with my hands and then I go to the forearm. And once I'm about in the middle of the forearm, I can do some wrist circles. Both directions. Other side. So this thing that you're doing right now is probably my favorite go-to of care that I give myself while I'm in the middle of my acrobatic training. Either this or just bouncing and shaking, combination. So my goal is that I'll give you a lot of different ideas of how you can sprinkle in self-care, because I want this to be sustainable. I'm 45, I want to do this till I'm 95. And for that to be the case, I have to be able to give little investments into healing my body as I'm challenging my body. Okie dokie. From there, take a wide stance and we'll come into Skandasana. Straighten one leg, bend the other, holding the ankles, staying super low. Next time you're facing away from the camera, you're going to come into an extended side angle. So where we're going to be going is crocs. And in a croc, especially a one-arm croc, you need to feel a line through your body. So feel the line between your standing heel and the top fingers. Take a twist. Come up on the heel. Bring your elbow across the thigh. And bring the palms in that strong warrior shape, where you're pushing one elbow through the other. Bring the back leg forward, twisted Utkatasana. Second side, twisted Utkatasana. Get the elbow as far as you can outside the thigh. Find the strength through the line of the arms. If you can play with the bandha at the end of the exhale, it's going to create more space in the lower back. Look down at the floor and bring your back leg back. Twisted, extended side angle. Switch your elbows so you can come to extended side angle. Keep feeling your breath and feeling the lines that go through the bones. Come up with straight legs. Bring the hands to the lung mudra. Hands here. Bend the knees, take a deep breath. As you exhale, side bend, forward bend, inhale, side bend, back bend, exhale, side bend, forward bend. 3 times. If you're doing this right, it should feel delicious. If it doesn't feel delicious, play with it until it does. Other direction. Let the weight of the head stretch the whole spine. Padangustasana, grab your big toes, come into a wide stance, and you're going to come down as far as you can. When you saw Bambi fall on the ice, that's what this is. Now you're going to see how expensive your sticky yoga mat is. If you got the cheap ones, you're going to be on your belly. Sit down into a straddle, swing your leg back around so you're facing the front of your mat, and we'll do 10 straddle ups. Roll up to a shoulder stand, roll up to your feet, and step your left leg back. So now we're going to get into a little bit of hip stretching. Somebody wants to enter the room. Okie dokie. So with the right leg forward, just a lunge to start. Some variations could be arms up. You can always take thigh stretches in all these variations if you want to. This is a stretch that I learned from my friend Matt. So I let my hips sink down and my toes facing off to the side. And I'm super yin, I'm very relaxed, and it's a side bend. So with a lot of these poses, you gotta make little adjustments until you feel it. So just know that the goal is a side bend from your hip, through your ribs to your shoulders. Do you feel it?
Oh yeah, I feel it.
Cool, good. Rising feels it, so it must be working. Let your left elbow come to the floor, if that's appropriate, to grab the back foot. You can also be up here, so a twisted thigh stretch. Lizard pose. Ardha Hanuman, runner's lunge. So every pose can be as fascinating or boring as you let it be. So there's all kinds of little tiny vectors that you can find, little pulsations. My friend Ale says it's like a cat that goes up against a post and like finds a way to scratch exactly where they want to scratch. So you gotta be like a cat and find your little scratching posts inside your body. Yummy. And Hanumanasana. So if you're not all the way down in your Hanumanasana, totally fine to keep your front knee bent. If you have blocks, great, but try to keep your chest over your pelvis. You're not going to get into the splits if you don't have weight pushing down. It's amazing how much mental anguish we can put ourselves in. If only I had the splits. If only I could do a handstand for 10 seconds. If only I could do a one-arm handstand. And my reality is life doesn't change because as soon as you get to wherever you get, there's more and there's always going to be more. So being content with the reality of what you have is perfect. Pivot around to frog. Sapito. So it's a 90-degree game, knees in line with the hips, knees in line with the feet. Another really nice pose to feel Uddiyana Bandha. It's very easy to access it, the belly's very open. So oftentimes in the poses, either the inhale or the exhale is difficult, and when you can direct your attention towards your breath in these difficult poses, we're sculpting our body from the inside out. All right, so sneak your way up a little bit out of the frog, pivot to the back of the mat for second side. Take a lunge first. And then you can bring your hand out, take that side bend, lazy variation. Oh, it's really nice on my sternum, my rib cage. Twisted thigh stretch. Lizard. Ardha Hanuman. And splits. And then from splits, walking to center splits, Samakonasana, same angle pose. Try to keep your hips in line with your heels. Swing the feet back together again. Let's do 5 straddle ups. See if you have a little more range of motion in your straddle ups. I bet you do. 7 of them. Up to a shoulder stand, up to an Uttanasana, and then jump back to Mandukasana. So Mandukasana is like your hips are touching the floor, your knees are wide. We'll play with a Mayurasana first. So a peacock pose. I place my pinkies together. I place the palms flat on the ground. Elbows are together at my belly. First step, just watch. Knees apart, feet together. Then straddle, maybe feet together. So play with that. Do you do these?
I think I've tried it.
Try it.
Your elbows are just going in here.
Uh-huh. And just make your knees lighter. You don't have to go all the way to the pose. Go slow. Yeah, that's good. That's great.
Ooh.
All right, come on down. And now what you do is put your hands underneath your legs and just traction out. So I'm trying to create a little bit of traction on the fingers and the wrists. So you can try a couple of different positions. And I'm pulling my elbows out in opposite directions. Just creating the opposite sensation of what you just did. So you could play with that variation 2 more times. I'm going to show you one arm peacock or croc. A lot of what this is where the elbow is placed and what my top arm and my opposite leg are doing. So check it out. I place the elbow inside my hip bone. I want to get my other arm super far out. First position is this little butterfly, then straddle, maybe feet together. This pose took many years. But where it's, oh, and then the finish, hand behind the back, traction, the wrist is so good. So it doesn't matter how much success you have, just play with placing it. See if you can get to the butterfly. That top arm is super extended. Give it a try. If you fall, you're already pretty close to the ground. Eso. Y'all are playing with it. Nice. Okay, when you get done with it, bring your hand behind your back and traction that wrist out. Oh, it should feel super yummy. It makes doing all these torturous moves worth it when we do the decompression work after. Well, that was so much fun. Let's try it on the other side. And be willing to celebrate your victories as it's happening. I know you're on mute, but you can scream, yay!
Where does your elbow go
So from your hip bone, it can go just inside the hip bone or a little bit more inside. So that's going to be your realm is from the hip bone to about 3 inches inside the hip bone.
So as release then.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Guillaume, get the top arm more extended. Get more reach with that top arm. That's going to be one of your antennas. Yes. Gabby, looking good. Just be slow. Be slow. Tranquila. Okay, make sure when you get done that you're doing the decompression work. This is a tricky pose no matter how talented you are. It's always tricky. The thing that's cruel about Crocs is even if your technique is good, it's a strength move. When you're in a really good handstand, you can cut through gravity. There's no cutting through gravity when it comes to this one. Okay, chicos. So where we're at now is you get to decide one static inversion and one dynamic inversion. So a static inversion could be a forearm stand that you're going to hold for 1 minute. It could be whatever you can do safely, one static pose, and then the dynamic one could be splitting your legs back and forth or doing tuck presses. So it's going to be kind of your own world, and it's going to be about 2 to 4 minutes of open practice. So if you have a spotter, you could have 1 round of spotting, up to you. So go ahead and play with whatever static inversion. See if you can count 10 breaths, and it should be around a minute. What you got?
Can you just spot me in handstand?
Sure. Nice and tall. Nice. Beautiful right there. Strong fingers. Yeah. Oh yeah. Slower breath if you can. Keep everything tall. And let's bring it down. Okay, so in between sets, any decompression work, bouncing, shaking, tractioning, you've got a lot of tools, so just listen to your body. I love doing this Uttanasana with this variation with some bounces, so let your body teach you what release move you need. If you haven't gone into dynamic, go into dynamic, so this is presses, cartwheel into handstand, anything that's movement based, where you stop in the handstand for a moment, or whatever inversion it is. Come on.
What about cake switches?
Sure. By yourself?
I think I can do that.
Perfect. Okay, chicos. Come on back. We are going to modify the class plan a little bit because we're almost out of time. I'm going to take you through the back bending and then a very easy finish. So come down to your belly, please. And come into bow pose. And we'll just do 3 breaths in all these back bends. When we have more time, you can do 5. So bow is really good for opening up the chest and the shoulders. So as much as it's a back bend, after all the pushing in the arms, we want to be able to release the tension as it's going in. Okay, some of you are going to absolutely hate this. In a tie toe stance, reverse prayer. So reverse prayer shows you how you're doing between your balance of strength and flexibility. If you're super strong and not very flexible in your arms, this is going to be torture. If it's easy, let the fingertips go up higher towards your head. If you can't do it, you can have it very low. Come up onto the knees, catch the ankles, and come into a camel. 3 breaths. Come back up for rabbit. Some of you can tell I was classically trained by Bikram himself. All right, come on back up. So after all the upper body work, I want to give a couple of release moves for the upper body. So bring the arms out to the side in a prone position, and you'll just take an arm stretch. So I can use my opposite hand to push me over. I can also let the weight of my top leg bring me over. And I like to look up towards the ceiling or even towards the wall, towards my extended arm. Other side. So fingertips are in line with the shoulders. Another variation could be doing it with a bent arm. So there's lots of little micro nuances that can make these poses open different parts. Keep circulating your breath so you feel the pressure of your inhale help to stretch the fascia, the muscles. Come back through, and this time your palm of your right arm is going to be facing the ground, and you're using your body weight just to find a way to stretch, put pressure. This one's a little tricky to find, but I can almost always find something that's yummy on my wrist, on my forearm, but you got to look for it. It definitely looks like a very, very strange thing that you're doing right now. Yeah, I found a way to give a little traction and body weight, and it feels delicious. Second side. If you ever find students that don't physically have the capacity to straighten their arms, this is such a good way for them to stretch. I'm also finding a little bit of hip release as I sink my wrist into my hip. And then when you're done with that, roll to your back. Cross your legs like you did in the Gomukhasana, the cow face. And by holding the tops of your feet, let your knees come away from you. And now kick the legs away from each other to find a split twist. Again, lots of room to explore variations of where the head is, where the feet are, where the knee is. These days, a lot of my new opening is in my sternum. So I've been doing a lot more back bends, and that's the juicy place for me. So I keep finding these different ways to stretch my rib cage. Oy. Second side. Split twist. Keep looking for your best angles, your best levels.